So you being boots on the ground, I would imagine a lot of women are wondering, if I am pregnant now or I'm getting pregnant, is it possible that you could even still document my birth? Like, what are my options currently now with COVID?
So what I have done with a couple of previous clients through this COVID time was to shoot specifically their pre-maternity type session, but I also go to their house before they leave. If they're going to a C-section, I'll be there early in the morning and photograph those moments of sort of saying goodbye to their first child, or just, you know, those early morning C-section moments before you're leaving. But if it's a natural birth as well, if you start laboring at home, then I will be there to photograph those moments before. Up until the point of hospital, I even follow through with the hospital, take some footage of you going into the hospital, and then I can also be there for the time that you come out of the hospital, and then just follow you through home, and then we can create a story around that. But a lot of my clients as well have taken some video and photographs, and I've incorporated that into their story as well, because it's important to get the little snippets. And even though it's not me behind the camera, it's still allowing us to create a beautiful story of what has happened. So that,
And you're a storyteller, ultimately you're a storyteller, not just a photographer, right?
Absolutely. And I think even me not being able to go to the hospital still creates that story of this time, and the story of what is happening in the family, where siblings cannot go to the hospital, parents cannot come to the hospital to see the baby. But I was photographing a birthday sort of when they came home from the hospital, and the grannies were by the car and they were looking at the baby, and they got to see the baby through the car door. And it was actually, for me, just, I took a moment to absorb it and to realize that this is now a meet the family shoot. And it, in its own way, it has a special touch to it. It does not have to be anything negative. It really, you have the power to tell your story how it is. And I think that that is where my ability and my skill comes in, to help you create that story and to create it for you where I can't be. But in saying that, I do feel in the next couple of months, I think if you're up until 4 months, anything before 4 months pregnant, I think that we still have a very big chance of booking and going through with the hospital birth from now. So, you know, I do book a lot of my clients in their first trimester. So, you know, if you are in your first trimester, it's a great time to kind of book and feel confident that everything will go as it has in the past with birth photography. But there is always, I'm very flexible and just lenient on how we can create the balance. And I'm always open with my clients. I have throughout this COVID time into their options, and we take it day by day and situation for situation, and then we can make a decision together.
Something when you're saying that is that I'm thinking now more than ever, a meet the family session is really important. Documenting where we are in history. Like, your baby is born in 2020. That is, you know, that's significant. Or 2021 if it's coming up.
Yeah.
That's the story, exactly. And you should be able to own your story and not focus on what you're losing out on, but on what can still be told. And another thought that I was going to ask you about, home births. Are you doing home births? Do you have full permission to attend home births now at this stage?
I have full permission for home births. I go through a few hours before delivery, depending on how contractions and everything work out. But I am there throughout the home birth and afterwards as well. So the home births, we not an issue at all. We are going through ahead with them.
Okay. Oh, that's so great. Yeah. I mean, I think this is where the creativity comes into play, and how do you tell a story creatively, and every baby's life and their entrance into the world is worth documenting one way or the other.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And everyone's story is different. And as a storyteller, it's still worth being told.